Hello and welcome back everybody to the Mineski Pro Gaming League Season 6, the Southeast Asian qualifier for it. It is, once again, or still, a best of 3 series between the Prime, SIAPA versus Awake. Awake, they do have that one game lead at the moment, just with an extremely farmed Tinker in the first game for them, just completely wrecking TP apart. But we'll see, game number 2 hopefully is going to be a little bit different and get us to a game 3, but nonetheless, we are HeflaTV, I'm Coach, and once again I am joined by Blackadder.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
So, we do see some mix-up already. The Death Prophet gets through and immediately picked.
Well, with the Death Prophet pickup, it does sort of scream push, and I'm wondering if Awake have something in mind for this one. We don't see the Tinker banned once more, so this could be an option here for Awake, but jumping back for a second to the last game, I saw someone in the chat mentioning the last game, Awake made a comeback. That wasn't a comeback at all. That their items just came online. It wasn't that they were at a disadvantage at any point. The Tinker was still top of the board, so it wasn't a comeback game. Awake just played that one as they needed to play it. They were going to concede towers, but their Tinker came online.
Yeah, it's a really valid point to make, to be honest. It's just, they played it the correct way. They didn't give away too much while losing towers. They just kept their heroes farmed, or at least Tinker extremely farmed and the others moderately so. But look at this Awake. They start with a Lich Band to just slow down the push with the Ice Armor. And overall Ice Armor is pretty damn good against Exorcism, which is physical damage. But the Lycan is also in the pool. So if Awake don't go for the Lycan, I am almost positive that the Prime will just take advantage of the fact and pick that hero up.
I would completely agree. And with Awake picking up the Lich and the Centaur, we could be looking for a very heavy teamfight style to try to counter the push strategy that Prime could potentially come out with here.
I mean, I guess that would be the best way, as looks like it's going to be one of those games that the Lycan just doesn't get picked up. It's most likely going to get banned by Awake now, just in case. As TP, they ban out the Tinker just to make sure the push isn't stopped, but I mean, you don't really need the Lycan when you have a Death Prophet and Shadow Shaman. That's plenty of push already, plus not only that, also a pretty solid amount of teamfight.
Indeed, it does give them a lot of teamfight, and I'm wondering what Prime are going to evolve into their draft here, because their draft does scream push, but we've seen Death Prophets fight. I mean, I believe it was you and me casting when we saw the 404 build. Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah. And a fighting-style Death Prophet with a Shadow Shaman to bring in the CC can certainly work, but Prime will ban out both the Pugna and the Tinker. They do not want to give away either of these heroes, and rightfully so, considering the mana costs of both Death Prophet and Shadow Shaman and how strong the Tinker from Awake was in the last game. But, my curiosity right now is, what do we see Awake choose to ban here? They banned the Lycan in the second banning stage. Now, do they ban something else that brings a lot of pushing power? Maybe the Dragon Knight? No, they'll ban the Tide for more team fight, and they'll opt themselves for an AA. Now, Void is banned out in this game, so we do not get the AA combination with, say, Chronosphere, but the threat is there for AA Centaur Stomp, AA, and potentially what else is in the pool. Earthshaker is still available, so we could look for that. We could equally look for the tri-ranged tri-lane. Mirana could be a pickup here. A pretty damn good pickup as well for Awake.
Mirana.
Yeah. Well, Mirana does come out for the Prime instead at the moment, and Awake, well, they do have their two supports ready, unless it's going to be like a Lich offlane with a Centaur farming safe lane, which I don't really see happening at this point in time, but Mirana pick up for TP. The nice thing about Mirana, like always when you pick that hero up, is just the versatility of her. You can lane her more or less everywhere except the jungle.
I would completely agree, and it's the flexibility of the hero. And you've got to consider right now, Mirana's Shadow Shaman Death Prophet has a lot of fighting potential. But this could be a support Mirana, of course. Equally, we could see heroes like Wraith King come about, or Earthshaker at this point. Both would be very good for either team.
Man, I would like to see TP pick up a hero that just is a natural pipe carrier, to be honest. Just up against Lich, Centaur, and Ancient Apparition. I feel that item is a must, especially if you are focusing on the push and just grouping up together, which makes Ice Blasts or landing them just a lot easier. But Awake, a Morphling for them, so they have still a pretty solid amount of burst, waveform as well helping out. Morphling can use it globally to set up kills with the Frost Blast, just have the replicate somewhere to escape afterwards.
I could think so, yeah, I could think so. The Morphling will be the one that easy to rotate in, escape, and do good damage, but both teams have a lot of escape potential considering Moonlight Shadow at this point.
And do you think this Morphling, I mean, I guess it can be mid lane as well every now and then, is played in that role, but was that hero pickup a little bit too greedy? Can he do enough early on to just help out with the team fights in defense of the push? Well, at the moment, TP, fourth pick about to come. They have lots of reserve time left, to be honest. 1 minute 20 seconds should be plenty to just decide on the fourth pick here. And I guess with this fourth pick, it might give us a good idea about how TPA want to lane this and whether this Mirana might be a support one or not.
The draft for Prime, I'm liking it, yes, but it's still open-ended, if that makes best sense to you. I mean, they could opt for the Wraith King, they could opt for Earthshaker, as I mentioned before, they could opt for Dragon Knights. And equally, we could see something unorthodox. They could opt for something like... They could opt for something like an Ursa, but I think there's too much burst damage available to Awake for an Ursa to be viable in this game.
Yeah, plus Ursa would just get kited by the Ice Armor as well as the Ice Vortex.
I mean, unorthodox picks, I'm trying to think what we could see unorthodox here. And what do you mean Black being right is unheard of, Couch? I see that. But...
Man, I just had to say it was baited out of me, but an Elder Titan pick, I mean, that is unorthodox. You do see him every now and then, but definitely not something that you can call often. Elder Titan, it can boost up their damage and just help clearing waves, but do they really need help in just clearing waves at the moment?
Clearing waves, no, but the Elder Titan, got to consider the reason he's picked up his natural order. The amplification from onto the Mirana, onto the Shadow Shaman, onto the Death Prophet's damage is going to be very high. And of course, Elder Titan, when you're fighting the Elder Titan, you have 0 armor. Death Prophet Exorcism, the physical damage will just be too damn high. But you know what wouldn't surprise me right now would be a Weaver, actually.
For the side of the Prime?
Yeah. They then put a support Shadow Shaman Mirana roaming, mid Death Prophet, safe lane Weaver, offlane Elder Titan. Weaver then benefits from that massive negative armor, as well as provides his own negative armor, which the Death Prophet will love, and can chew apart the supports like the Lich and the AA.
Well, it could be a viable pick for them, and actually I don't see them having too many alternatives here, possibly because, I mean, everything that TP can pick up now, they can just be so easily bursted down, and that's really their biggest downside so far. I mean, Elder Titan is fairly tanky, I guess, can build a mech for their team, as can the Death Prophet. But Awake, if they get a decently timed Blink Dagger on the Centaur, and a nice level 6 range separation as well early enough, just their burst potential, just being able to kill anybody within a moment's notice almost, it's something that TP has to consider, that if they want to go for the push, can they stay there and fight?
I think they're going to have to be very cautious with that, and it would not surprise me to see very defensive items. The Blink Daggers, of course. We could even see the Atos on the Prophet after the Yules, just for a bit of safety. Maybe the BKB as well could be another option, but BKBs across the board for Prime are good in this game. I mean, you mentioned the burst on the Awake side. Yeah, it's powerful, but you consider their lanes right now. They've got the Centaur off lane, they've got the Morphling, could be mid, could be safe lane. They've got the Lich, the AA for supports. They're looking for something that can get in the fight, can do good burst damage, but equally have a lot of survivability. I mean, Templar Assassin comes to mind, but they're not exactly the best team for negative armor. They're actually going to go for a Sand King, so this changes my anticipation of the lanes up quite heavily, actually.
I guess, can it be safe lane farming Sand King in this game?
It could be, especially with the backup from an AA and a Lich rotating around between lanes, or potential dual lanes here, Lich Centaur. Morphling is near certainly mid, though. Since you can put a Sand King mid, but it's only against certain melee farming heroes like a DK. You cannot put a Sand King up against an Elder Titan solo, either because he will get harassed out by the Ancestral Spirit, and that Ancestral Spirit does a lot of damage, and B, of course, Natural Order.
Oh man, I guess you can put the Sand King up against Death Prophet. It's just a losing lane from the get-go, unless you pull off a miracle, just multiple rotations to kill off the enemy, and a puck pickup for TP, getting some elusiveness for their lineup at the moment. But
that does change the way the lanes will be as well. That will be potentially a safe lane farming Death Prophet in that case, in a mid puck. Of course, you could do a safe lane farming Elder Titan as well, but it's less likely.
I guess I wouldn't mind a farming Elder Titan too much, because he can actually be quite a scary carry as well. Just get the extra movement speed, extra damage from the Ancestor Spirit returning to you, and on top of that, having like an SNY or something. I've seen it once, although I think an offlane Elder Titan just had a lot of farm to do so. But man, I fear a little bit for the late game of TP though. It's not like Awake they have too much more of it, since it's gonna be the Morphling just almost solely in the late game, with some magical burst to follow up. So TP, if they get their BKBs, they might just be fine in their fights, but how early can they get them is the question.
That's going to vary very heavily on the game. I mean, they can get their aggression very early, but, and I stress but, they need to be careful because of the potential of a turnaround from the lineup of Prime.
Oh, YO2 gonna get arrowed. MST, he has the shackles as well. Ancestor Spirit comes from, and this should be such an easy kill. Stapler punch from Y2K.
It's an anvil, not a stapler. God damn it, not you as well. Oh,
I got affected by it by, I think it was Mike Lores.
You know where he got that from? Most likely Draskell. God damn it! I have this conversation with one of my friends who I cast with as well, and
is it really an anvil though?
It's an anvil. It's not a stapler.
Is it an anvil, man? It doesn't look like one.
Look at it in first-person perspective mode. That's a bloody anvil with a handle.
Who the hell makes an anvil with an handle?
The World Shaper. It's his lore. God damn it! Either way, let's look around the lane, shall we? We got Nefari. He's up against a Lich Morphling dual mid. And honestly, this is a lane I don't expect the puck to win, considering the strength of Lich.
Bottom lane Sand King cops an arrow after the shackles. Can they bring him down? Yes, they can. Y2K gets yet another kill for himself. And this aggro tri-lane, I mean, it's just crushing this dual lane Sand King. He's not going to get any farm at all if they just continue like this.
Yeah, it's going to be very rough. I didn't predict a aggro try lineup, but Elder Titan can certainly be the physical right clicker in that, and this will also mean he will get a good amount of early farm, could potentially see the Veil of Discord, could see potentially a Blink Dagger. There are a good few items that an Elder Titan can gain impact from, but most notably, and one that I would not be surprised to see in the slightest, would be a AC, just for the sheer fact of, oh, you've got no armor, now you've got -5 armor.
That's always good, but mid lane, Boo Boo is rotating together with MST, and they get pinged out. I think it was the Ancient Aberration pinging them. So I would be a little bit surprised if the arrow actually landed here.
I don't see them being able to connect this one. If they do, it'll be something magical. And we can see Boo Boo's taking a very aggressive stance behind. In comes the arrow from the reverse angle. Not going to impact, goes straight past Toy's ear. Just slightly unfortunate, but King A will continue to just destroy the experience potential of Nefari here with those sacrifices.
Oh man, and this arrow, the cosmetic arrow, why would one use it? It's so much easier to spot out.
I will agree with you on that one. It can be quite the deciding factor, since it literally glows. Quite literally glows.
And man, at the moment, he does not want to give up before he lands that arrow.
If he lands an arrow under the tower, though, can you really commit to it with Nefari on that puck? I don't think you can, not with the Lich right behind him. I mean, right now it feels like Boo Boo is wasting time and experience. So many times I will turn around and say it. Time is the fire in which they will burn. You consider the Morphling. If he gets good amounts of farm, that's a devastating force in a game. Same applies to a Sand King or a Centaur if they can get their items up the Blink Dagger and the potential for the other pickups.
Man, I just think that actually the shackles out to hop out to Tomium again. The right clicks are coming through. One more, that's all they need. And Y2K is going in too deep. Burrow Strike comes through and he goes down. Ender Shock from MSD. He clears up that one kill, but that was not a worthy trade.
No, it was not. That was a level 4 for a level 3, and the experience does go the way of Awake in that one. But in the meantime, mid lane, we did see a little scuffle, I believe, since Arrow's going to fly once more. Is it going to impact this time on King A? Yes, it is, and this one's caught him right in the river. This could be very bad for him. In comes the puck, gets a couple of right clicks, and one more right click will spell the death of King A, but now they've got to mess with Toy. And Toy is just going to waveform up, which forces Boo Boo to leap down, and he should be safe off the back of that one.
Yeah, they finally get the kill, but of course Puck had to die for that as well. And not only that, bottom lane, Elder Titan, he died before, so I just think if they had left the Shadow Shaman and the Mirana bottom lane to make sure that Sand King gets absolutely nothing, it could have been just such a better and easier game for them. But at the moment, they started off really strong, but they've slowed down a little bit. Sand King, he's 11-2 compared to 14-4, which I did not expect Sand King to get as much farm or almost any farm if they had just left the tri lane there. So they actually gave some space here to Awake.
Yes, they did, but did Awake gain enough from the time they had? I'm not sure they did. They lost another 2 kills another kill while the support rotated away, and Tomyan, he hasn't really got much in terms of CS. I mean, sure, we'll take a look at the CS across the board. You've got the Sand King, he's 13 for 2. The Elder Titan, 17 for 4. And the Elder Titan is still continuing to harass and sending his spirit into the even the easy camp, which is slowly being farmed up by him, and most importantly, going to give him that all-important damage increase with the spirit.
Yeah, I mean, he's still doing well, and Sand King, he's completely solo in this bottom lane here. YO2 just running around, what looks like to be kind of aimless, stacking the jungle a little bit.
And bot lane, you've got Sand King eating a good few right clicks though with that plus 111 damage from Y2K, but not going to be able to get the kill off of it with the arrow missing as well. But top lane MST lurking nearby. He wants to rotate in on the reverse angle of this tier 1 tower. Can they commit to Solitic like this though? Solitic, but it's a very hard kill. Sure, Shackles are going to come in. You've got the rotation in from Moning on that Death Prophet. Couple of right clicks. Crypt Swarms maybe could be enough, but no, they cannot bring a Centaur down at this point. Centaur, he has his level 5. He has one of the highest strength gains in the game, and now you've got the rotation back in. MST will take a fall, and you've got the Exorcism being committed to the tier 1 tower, doing some damage, but equally the Death Prophet from Monang needs to be careful. Very careful.
Yeah, and bottom lane once again, Sand King went down with the double effort of Boo Boo and Y2K at the moment. So, I mean, leaving the Sand King solo definitely for Awake, not working out too well so far. Ancient Apparition, of course, with the rotations, got some XP at the very least from the kill on the Shadow Shaman. But, I mean, I think to be honest, Death Prophet, they might have gotten the kill on the Centaur if he had started with the Crypt Swarm and the Shackles were there. Just follow up, just chase him down and get another Crypt Swarm instead of just only right-clicking. But
quite possibly, but still, then you're committing to the tower, and the supports, as we knew, were nearby.
bottom lane arrow into the Sand King's face completely. About a 2-second stun was there enough. He's around. Illusion Orb, if it connects, it's going to be a short kill. And no, TP's going to come in. Morphling gets there.
He's baiting him out. In comes the Waning Rift. One right click as well should steal the deal here. Dream Call dropped as well. And you've got Toy. He's down here. You're going to be able to trade some clicks into Boo Boo, but it does not matter at this point. In comes the Y2K on that Elder Titan. And sure, it's a waveform and a hasted Morphling, and Boo Boo could be in some trouble, but Arrow's going to fly. Doesn't connect this time. A couple of right clicks more. The Courier could be a victim here, but down goes the Morphling. Sorry, down goes the Mirana to the Morphling, and Toye is just too damn fast with this haste rune.
Yeah, man, haste, too good. And of course, landing an arrow. Mirana, he did his best to actually attempt the arrow. If it had landed, might have just bought enough time for the Morphling to actually drop down dead there. But not to be mid lane though, to get the Hex onto Toy. Shackles to follow up as well. Illusion or Waning Rift. There's not enough mana for it. And Toy, he survives.
It's the downside here. They commit so much on that bottom lane in terms of rotation and mana, they couldn't bring him down when they rotated back to mid. It's the rough truth of this game so far. And Morphling, he does have flying out to him a full Aquila. So with that on the board as well, slowly going to start adding up to this Morphling's favour, especially if he keeps farming at this rate. And again, top lane, Stampede, going to go onto Moning, but the Exorcism is up. Do we have enough damage to turn around? Down goes the Lich to the Exorcism, and now we've got a Crypt Swarm going, as well as the arrows coming in from Boo Boo. One route to fly, not going to hit. Double Edge will, however, clean that up, and Boo Boo getting a little too overzealous with his Mirana, it seems.
I mean, I guess in the end it slightly did favor TP since Lich was level 6, whereas Mirana was level 5. So they just got a little bit more XP out of it, and they might get a tier 1 here as well. Nobody's coming in to defend, or mind me, Lich, he TP's back.
Yeah, he can finish this one up. He's just going to force back morning. Considering the exorcism timing out, there was very little chance of finishing off that tier 1.
But still, tower is low enough, and I think it's just on the edge of the deny range almost. So, not gonna get denied, at least not for the time being. Nice King A farming up the top
Arrow going to
lane.
fly. Doesn't impact King A this time.
Oh, so close, but that arrow a little bit too easy to spot out.
Quite possibly. It's one of the downsides to that arrow, but Y2K going to come in and start harassing Toye. Now, I'm going to bring up this Elder Titan here. He's level 8. He's 0440. This is the build that I do love to see out of Titans, since the best thing to do is just to rotate in and drop your spirit, and then your team can do the rest. And you do some good right-click damage as well, but we do see the mechanism coming up on the Elder Titan to boot, so it's going to help him out in terms of that early game team fight, and I would not be surprised to see some 3 or 4 man pushes starting to develop on the side of Prime here.
Yeah, they can easily go for it. And MST, he's about to hit level 6 soon enough on the Shadow Shaman as well. So with that, they should have plenty to just go for the pushes, Mass Serpent Wards. And Awake, I don't think they're quite ready to just take a fight when the push happens.
If they push into Awake now, what do they have to defend it? They've got Chain Frost and Epicenter. They can hold their towers, but they need good initiation from the Centaur. Solitic does not have his Blink Dag yet. He's still a good 500 off. And something that I did just realize, the Morphling pick versus the Elder Titan, I did not realize until just now, of course, Replicate will mean, if he replicates the Elder Titan, Awake will have the ability to use Natural Order as well, because the Illusion will have it.
Oh, that's actually a thing that I didn't think about at all as well, I have to admit. Didn't even pop into my mind for a second, but it can be a huge steal, because suddenly your own sword got turned against you.
Yeah, it takes a lot of power that Prime had in their favor, flips it on its head, and Awake can then benefit from that. And we've already mentioned Awake have a lot of burst damage. Imagine what Awake can do with Natural Order on their side as well. But we get TP's bot lane to defend this. They're going to force back Nefari, and that should be completely safe.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing as well, Awake, they do or will have the plus armor from the ice armor to help out, negate it. Actually, top lane, no, they're not going to get the jump. Face boots, Death Prophet, 4 points into Witchcraft, just too speedy for them. But there's the replicate.
Yep, the replicate again doing work, and I would not be surprised to see the Elder Titan be the replicate target this entire game. But we do now have Earth Splitter available for Y2K as well, so we could potentially be seeing those team fights start to come online. It should be an interesting mid-game. 10 minutes in, the graphs, a 2,000 gold lead for Prime, and again 3,000 experience, but still completely recoverable, and towers are still not falling yet, even though we have that Death Prophet with that Exorcism now ready to go.
Yeah, a really huge thing though still is that Tom Yum, he isn't even farming, he's just hanging around top lane. They want to set up some kills, but I mean, this Sand King, safe lane farm, when you're committing a core role on a Sand King, you expect this Blink Dagger to come out by now for sure. And at least Centaur, he's getting close to it, but Death Prophet, Moonlight Shadows, can they get the kill on Sand King? The body blocking, oh yep, the Hex comes out, shackled up as well, and now Puck, he wants to go for more Chain Frost to bounce around. Will it be enough? No bounces at all, 0 bounces. Only the first
now we
one
get the turnaround. They commit the Exorcism, down goes King A to the Arrow and the Crypt Swarm, and this should be an easy tier 1. The first tower in the game going to fall there in favour of Prime, and it would not surprise me to see this push continue at this point. Specifically if we see a rotation in potentially from the Earth Spirit, but Y2K is safely just farming up and dealing with Toye in the meantime.
Man, this Moonlight Shadow was just expertly used at the moment. Going in, getting 2 easy kills for themselves, the tier 1 tower on top. But mid lane, the Hoofstomp Blink double H to follow an Elder Titan waveform secures the kill.
And that is just the damage potential of a stolen replica of an Elder Titan. You saw how quickly the Elder Titan dropped in that one, didn't you?
Yeah, it's... Of course, I mean, Centaur's burst damage is pretty high as it is. But there wasn't even a chance for the Elder Titan to pop his mech there.
No, there wasn't, and again, that's just the power. If the lineup, if we look at Natural Order here quickly, Natural Order at level 4 is 33% base reduction for resists. So that's going to take away the 25 base and amplify by a further 8%. So if you've got 400 damage, you're dealing an extra, napkin math, 32 damage on top of the 400. Same to waveform, you get an extra 8% because you mitigate the 25%. It really does add up. It sounds like small numbers, but it seriously does add up. And we consider the Y2K on his Elder Titan when he died, he had 1,000 HP. That's nothing. That is honestly nothing at this point.
Yeah, and they even have another source to just amplify the damage, possibly with the Ice Vortex of the Ancient Apparition. But speaking of the AA, he's only level 4. He will hit level 5 from those creeps here, but I mean, it's already 13 minutes in. If they just had Ice Blast, just picking fights or defending towers would get infinitely easier.
Indeed, it would be. It's one of the downsides of AA. He's not one of the best ones in finding and getting experience unless he's partaking in kills. But flip side of this coin, Prime are going to help themselves to some gold, it seems. They're going to drop Mass Serpent Wards and they're going to look for this tier 1 in the mid lane. But now we get the Blink, Stomp, Stampede combo coming in onto Y2K. Waveform as well, but in comes the arrow onto King A. 2 right clicks, 3 right clicks would be enough to finish him off, but he's not going to be able to do so. He needs to get under the cover of Moonlight Shadow. Dream Coil, however, will be enough, and now they're going to look to bring down Toy. He's morphing strength. He should be safe. In the meantime, back foot, the Elder Titan does get out of this one, but in comes the Spirit once again. He's mockering that back in. Earth Splitter to be commit as well, but that's not going to connect on anyone. Waveform away by Toy. Can they catch up to this one? Dream Coil bounce forward. They don't have the Dream Coil ultimate. They've only got the orb. Silence comes in as well. Yo will go down to one more right click, and can they find Toy? I don't think so, but in comes Tomyan. He's got his Sand King ready, but he takes so much damage from that combination, and MSD will finish that one up with a double kill from one Aftershock. Down goes Toye and down goes Tomyan.
I have no idea why they actually turned to fight there. They just completely ran into suicide. They didn't even have any proper vision. Yes, Moonlight Shadow had worn off by that time already, but TP themselves, they were so ready for it. They even popped down a sentry just to make sure that they can spot out the Sand King when he's sandstorming. And this Sand King still 500 gold short of his Blink Dagger. And overall, that fight was just horrible. If they only had detection, when the Elder Titan, he was so close to going down there. Just ran away, Moonlight Shadow, just helping him escape. And I don't know, man. 13-6. I think the graphs must be spiraling as well. Yep, about a 8k nearing 9k gold leads for TP, XP 5k as well.
I would completely agree. That was a very questionable fight, for lack of better wording, coming out of Awake. I mean, they want to go round the corner into potentially a Puck who's going to be right there with that Waning Rift Silence as well as Illusionary Orb combo. And we mentioned that the Elder Titan
eats a 5-second arrow in the face. MSD is there with the Hexable. Strength Morph activated. Shackles follow up, so they need a little bit more. The replicate, the Silence comes out. Crypt Swarm ensures the kill, man. They took a pretty long time getting the kill, but it was enough. But a 1-for-1.
Yep, they lose the Puck and the jungle in the meantime to the double-edge combination, and there's very little you can do about that. But now in comes the Spirit. The Earth Splitter as well. It's off target though, won't connect. Which is unfortunate, but still, it's forcing back the full combination from Awake here. They cannot commit to that. I was going to say they want to go around the corner into this, but wow, they get another kill. MST with the Aftershock. They were walking around the corner into the Puck. That Puck does, I want to say, just short of 600 damage, and then you've got to consider the combination with the Natural Order aura from the Elder Titan as well. But Elder Titan will fall off the back of the Chain Frost, but still, you've got Exorcism just going around, doing good amounts of work across the board. Going to be able to force this one back and clean up the tier 2. Tower's fallen quite heavily in favour of Awake, but Solitic wants to come in, but he gets caught by MST, shackled under the tower. This isn't good for him, but equally, down goes MST with one more right click, surely. It'll be a counter kill. It's a double kill for MST, but he will fall for his efforts there. Tommy Young did try to come in and make something of that, but just the fight did not go the way that Prime could have taken that one. They could have got the extra kill if there was a bit more communication between the Shadow Shaman and the rest of the team, because I don't think Shadow Shaman warned his team that he was going to blink in there.
Yeah, we definitely didn't feel like it. Their Prophet was just completely running away, and suddenly Shackles is like, oh crap, I have to go back and help out Shadow Shaman, just secure the kill. Center did at least go down in the end. Arcane Boots were popped by Shadow Shaman to get enough mana for the last Eder Shock. But it's still, I mean, they get the tier 2 as well, they're getting all the map control that they want. And Sand King, well, with the next creep wave, might hit his Blink Dagger, but we're 17 minutes in. It is delayed just way too much by now already.
I would completely agree. The Blink Dagger for the Sand King, they need that online as soon as possible. And sure, they may have the Blink up on Solitic on the Centaur already, but you need both of these Blinks. You need the initiation in teamfight power, and we just haven't seen it. I haven't seen a single big epicenter so far this game, and it is a big problem here, but we do see the potential 3-man rotation, 4-man rotation coming in from Awake, and they're going to just de-ward, it seems. But still, you've just got 4 people walking around the jungle as a group. The lack of direction from Awake here is what, in my mind, is a big problem. But there is no lack of direction in the meantime for Prime. They'll commit Mass Serpent Wards. Do they have Exorcism ready to go? Yes, they do. They can commit that as well if they want, and they will be able to bring down Roshan very quickly.
Yeah, they should be fast enough. Nafari had a double damage rune as well for some of it. Mech comes through from Y2K. He comes in to tank it up for them, and I mean, this Roshan is going to go down even without the Exorcism, and that actually frees them up to just go push after this.
Yep, they will go straight and commit for most likely tier 2 mid lane, and maybe even tier 3 if they get a good team fight as well. But with the Aegis on the puck, as well as all cooldowns available bar the Mass Serpent Wards, this is going to be huge. And now they catch Toye. He tries to waveform in, but he gets caught and gets instantly blown up. I'm not sure why he hung around when they realized Roshan was just killed, but still, now you've got a 1-hero disadvantage, as well as a Aegis to push into this tier 2 tower. I mean, it would not surprise me right now. Here we go. Exorcism, set up, ready to go. I wouldn't be surprised to see an Earth Splitter drop as well. You've got the Elder Titan taking position up on the high ground, ready to start this fight off, and Moonlight Shadow popped as well. Everything here is in favor of Prime. Equally, though, you have Dream Coil combination going to bring down the AA on the top lane, and that could potentially be the next target. They could take this tier 2 on the mid lane. But in comes the Stomp combo, as well as the Blink Epicenter, but this isn't enough in my mind. The damage is just too much coming out of Prime. They get 1 kill, they get 2 kills. Sure, the Chain Frost is bouncing around, but it's not enough. That's 3 kills the way of Prime, as well as that tier 2 tower.
Holy crap, what a fight that was. I mean, the Hoof Stomp, it was just dodged by Monang. The center came in, and immediate Eul Scepter to dodge the Hoof Stomp. And that Earth Splitter, even though the Stampede was used, Earth Splitter still hit 3 heroes, and it's level 2 by now as well, whereas Awake, their heroes are so squishy, at least the majority of them, and they almost died immediately to that one spell, and of course Puck to just come in with everything to follow up. Level 2 Dagon now as well. I think this game, 20 minutes in, kill score 22-9, gold crafts, almost 20k already for TP's favor, XP 14,000 and climbing. I think we're going to a game 3 here.
It looks to be that way, yes. And as much as I don't like counting out any team, a 20,000 gold lead with a lineup that doesn't really have any significant heavy right clicker at this point. I mean, sure, you got a Morphling, but the Morphling doesn't even have a Lincoln Spear at this point. It's very hard to fight back into, and it will take monstrous levels of throwing. It will take lumberjack levels of throwing for Prime to lose this one in my mind. But you get another Stampede. They look to bring down Monang, and they'll drop the Ice Blast on him. They could pick off the Death Prophet here. She doesn't have the Aegis either. Could be a very big kill, but down goes the dust. They should be able to pick her up on the back foot, and they're going to look for Boo Boo, but he is safe, and Death Prophet will commit suicide. I'm guessing that was with a Bloodstone. Yes, it was, and he'll be able to come back into this one.
Oh, they get MST as well. They get the Burst Strike. Do they have the follow-up? Hex comes out. Can he actually blink? Maybe Waveform come through. Blink still on cooldown for 2 seconds. Yeah, he's gone. So, Awake, they find a small opening, but I just still think that they need way more of what just happened.
Yeah, they need more kills, they need to hunt, and they need, well, not only more kills, they need the control of the map. They need towers more than anything, but in the meantime, you do get another attempted kill here. King A will potentially go down to the puck, but in comes the Stomp. It's only going to connect on the illusions. Arrow going to fly through as well, and Nefarian are dominating. This is rapidly growing out of control here, if not already out of control in favor of Prime. And that game 3 does look oh so tempting at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Dagon just got upgraded even more burst damage to come out from Nefari. He is rather squishy himself, of course, but he has the H, but Burrow Strike up onto Monang. He's channeling the Epicenter as well. Hoof Stomp to follow. Moonlight Shadow, can he actually survive this? Eul Scepter comes through. He's so tanky with his Bloodstone. Arrow, he's there as well. Stampede. Nope, Nefari. He comes in. He wants to stop everything. Split Earth.
The absolute turnaround. They commit so many heroes to try to bring down the Death Prophet and just cannot manage it. And now it's going to be a case of tier 3s, Mass Serpent Wards to be commit. This is an absolute nightmare for Awake. And Arrow's going to fly through as well. They're looking for the Lich one more time, but King A's forced back to the well, while Monang and MST deal with the tier 3 tower and the first full set of racks this game. But what an absolute turnaround in that fight. They thought they had Monang dead to rights, but clearly not.
I thought so too, to be honest, but I mean, he had 1.6k HP at that time when he didn't hit level 16. Actually, the chain first to fly with the Ice Blast connecting as well. But those bounces, not the luckiest of ones.
Well, if the bouncers did go onto the heroes, maybe look for a kill or two, but with the first full set of racks going down, kills at this point mean nothing. They need towers, they need presence on the map. If you look at Prime's lineup, they've not lost a single tier 1 tower. Hell, top lane hasn't lost a single point of HP. Mid lane, taken some damage. Bot lane, nearly dead, but no towers falling at all here for Prime.
Yeah, they've been playing just so damn well, and of course Awake, they really don't have too much pushing power themselves at all. And in the draft, we did question a little bit that the Morphling, whether he's going to be able to just farm up enough before the pushes start coming from TP. But with the laning decision, just going for the double mid lane, I mean, I guess it did help out Morphling to get some ensured farm there. But Puck, he was nowhere near just shut down enough, and the Sand King just didn't get anything. And if your core Sand King isn't getting anything, I mean, he got like a 20-minute Blink Dagger, so it's just not up to par anymore. Although they get the stun on the Boo, but the silence from Nafari comes in. Burrow Strike, where's the epicenter to Echo Stomp push? With the Exorcism comes out. It's a 3-4-1 plus an Aegis at the moment. Y02, I don't think he's gonna escape, and that's GG.
There was nothing they could do off the back of that team fight. Just the silence coming in from the right time from Nefari. It just disrupted the initiation from Awake, and that will be a 1-1 game, ladies and gentlemen. But this is, of course, a best-of-3 series.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to the distance as well. To the third game we go, as finally the series is tied up by TP as well. They did get the advantage from the get-go of this game, just getting the first blood, the secondary kill to follow up on Sand King, and just going from there. But guys, this is gonna be it for game number 2. We're heading into the next lobby, just straight away. Hopefully we'll start within the next few minutes. But until then, guys, hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to follow us on this channel, as well as HeflaTV 2 and HeflaMog. You can find all the links below the stream, as well as to our social media, to know when we're going live with what games, as well as on what channels. But, of course, thanks to Blackadder for casting with me. You can also follow him on Twitter, Mr_Blackadder. It's up on the title as well. In Twitch, if you want to just know for sure. But see you in game 3.
See you there, guys.